I've been testing out a lot of different devices this year, and some things are very impressive. Some things are remakes or reimaginations of other devices that I've used, and maybe they've improved a few things. But every now and then, I come across a device that's not like the others, that's different. They went for something completely different. And sometimes when you do something like that, it's a total miss and it doesn't work out. Well, this time we have a hit. We have an actual hit, and I'm talking about a water cup that also rips flour. Like, this device is so crazy, it's so weird, it's so unique. Every time I use this on my Twitch stream, somebody in the chat is like, wait, you're taking rips out of that? I thought it was a water cup. Wait, what's that device you were just using? Basically, we got like the electronic version of this, or it's a water cup that hits flour. Wait, you're saying you don't follow me on Twitch? Bro, Twitch is free. Bro, come check out my stream. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern every night. But I've been using this bad boy here for about a month now. It's called the Tafee bowl. Yes, that's the weirdest name for it. I just think of a bowl of taffy on Halloween. But I'm going to put a link to my website in the description. And then also you can type exclamation bowl. That's with an E at the end. B-O-W-L-E. Exclamation bowl in my Twitch or Discord for more info as well. But this is yes, you heard me right, a water cup that you can rip flour with. This thing is so wild. At first, when I was using this, I was so skeptical. I was like, why is it so expensive? It's not cheap, by the way. This is in the PS5 money range. It's not cheap, so like this isn't your everyday device. This is one of those things. I was saying this is one of those things for people with a VAS or vape acquisition syndrome. If you're like, bro, I just gotta have something new. This is wildly new, and it's actually very good at what it does. But like I was saying, at first I was skeptical. I'm thinking to myself, who needs this? What is this? Why? What is this? And the more I use it, the more I hit it. I'm like, what is this, bro? Who needs this? I need this. This is right now, it's in like my top 5 favorite devices. And I have a few reasons why I really like it. Obviously, the guy who is responsible for sip before you rip, I like something where the water is right here. I'm gonna put water in a moment. Let's do it now. Let's show you now. It's a water cup. It is a water cup. I'm gonna show you that portion, and I think we're gonna do some short rips at the end. Don't tell the robots. But it holds water. It also holds other liquid. This top is acrylic. It's not glass. I'm not sure if they're working on a glass one, but it would be pretty heavy and it would be a lot more fragile if it was glass. I think that's one of people's biggest issues. Why is the cup plastic? It's not that big of a deal. But I do think they make a larger cup for this I want to look at in the future. This one is like, it's only 10 ounces. But this is one of those things, I've been doing a lot of like patio sessions on my Twitch stream. I go outside. I bring this and I can do all my flour rips with it. I've got a water cup handy. It's literally one of the only things that you can get crossfaded with one hand. Like, you can fill this up with alcohol if you want. You got flour bowls you can pop in here. And that's exactly what happens. You pop this guy out, you put a new bowl in, you slide it in, it clicks, and you're ready to rip. Now, the bowls they use are very interesting. They call them oven pots here. It's got a screen on the bottom. It's got a little silicone there to create a wedge. And it's made out of ceramic, which actually is really nice because the bowls, when you hit the flour through it, they don't get hot. So right after you're done ripping, you can basically reach in and swap the bowl out for a new one. And the ease of swapping these little oven pots out is actually why I like this so much. So I'm gonna show you the grinder I've been using. They call it the Potter, and it comes with a plastic one, but I'm not the biggest fan of plastic ones. I had this one, so I just started using it right away. But the grinder has 4 slits in it that fill up the 4 bowls. You just put some nugs in the top, you grind it up, and then it packs 4 bowls. I'll show you the bowl packs in a minute. It packs 4 bowls, but then also you got a little bit of storage in the bottom that you can keep your pre-packed oven pots ready to go. Let me do a showcase of the grinding. So we got empty. So I got 4 empty bowls. I put a little bit in the top here, do some twisting. It's not like the smoothest grinder, the easiest grinder I've ever used, but the fact that it packs those 4 little bowls and I can just have a little storage spot for them is so nice. And there we go. 4 balls packed. I usually push it down a little bit. They give you a little tool that you can push it down. I just do it with my finger, no big deal. That way when I scratch my nose later and I get trichomes in it, I'll sneeze a bunch. But with the grinder comes a plastic version, right? You load in the top, got 4 holes in there, grinds into 4 bowls. So usually when I set this thing up, in just a matter of moments, I can have 8 of those oven pots packed. I usually have a 9th one that I just put right inside the piece, so I have 9 bowls ready to go. And that's actually one of the reasons that I really like it. The first few days I was using it, I was just individually packing one of the bowls. I was like, man, I don't want to mess with all these parts. And I was like, well, let me try the grinder out. And once I was like, oh, I just packed 4 bowls in no time, and then I swapped it out for 4 more, and I was like, oh, I got 8 bowls packed. I just started ripping through flour, and I was like, oh, geez, this thing is actually kind of crazy. So they do have some other accessories here. They got a little stubby stem you can slide the water cup off of. If you just want to use it as a flour device and not have the water cup, you can do it with the tall one, but then they also offer a stubby stem if you just want it a little bit more compact. Here's the device with the long stem, and here it is with the stubby stem. I think I misplaced it, but there's another silicone mouthpiece that went with this, and it slid inside, and then it slides out, but I swapped it with the other one, and I don't know where I put it. But one of the weird things I know people are going to complain about is the charge port is on top, so you have to take it apart essentially, or not have the cup on to charge it, which it's not a huge deal, but I was like, I had the cup on, I'm like, where's the charge port? I'm flipping it all around. I'm looking at the bottom at that little air hole, and I'm like, that kind of looks like USB-C, but yeah, it's right here on the top. And I do want to say this thing has, I believe, 5 temperature settings. I can cycle through them here with the push of a button. It has 5 settings, but I really only use the highest one. And that happens a lot on portable devices. I just end up going to the max. Usually they tune that max temperature to where it's not going to combust. And that usually gives me the best clouds or the biggest hits. Now, this guy was designed in Canada. It's a very interesting, unique design. And I do want to say the actual flour portion of it, if you take away the gimmick of it's also a water cup, the actual flour portion of it, the actual device function, is really good. It's surprisingly good, and you get some of the quickest hits compared to other devices. Like, I have a few that take 30, 45 seconds or so to heat up before you can start getting hits. But on this one, my first pull on it, it takes 1 or 2 seconds for the heat to be ready. I push the button and a second or 2 later, it's ready. My first pull usually is more flavor. It's not thick vapor, but the second hit, I always get so much vapor. And there's realistically only, less than 10 seconds of heat up time before I start pulling insane vapor. So I do want to note, you get really quick and really solid vapor on this. And I think it does a good job of getting through the flour quicker. Some devices give you good hits, but the more you pull it, the more you cool off the heating elements, and the harder it has to work to get the rest of the flour, I've noticed. This one, I feel like it crushes the bowls so quick, and I can just swap another one out almost instantaneous. Like I said, the bowls earlier don't get hot, so I can just pop it out, swap a new one in. Come check out my Twitch stream. I use this thing all the time, especially on Fridays. I don't like to use any glass, and this, well, the cup is acrylic. So you hit the button to wake it up, and then you hit another button, and like a second or 2 later, the lights turn green and it vibrates and it's ready to go. But like I said, the first hit usually is the warm up, and then the second hit is like, whoa, how do we do that so quick? So I'm just gonna pull for a couple seconds here. But I hit the button, and a second later, it was really only hot for a few seconds there, and that's like just warming it up. But the second hit got a nice pull on there, and it's not constantly hot. Like other devices, they constantly have the heat. Once you turn it on, it's hot for a few minutes. This one is just hot after you push the button, and it delivers some of the quickest vapor for not staying hot the whole time. And it's actually decent quality vapor. Like, it doesn't taste really bad or anything like that. Some devices, you're tasting the device when you hit it. Like, you can get some thick clouds with this, and I just hit that. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to swap it out. Like, I just hit it a few seconds ago, but I can grab the outside of that. I can still see vapor coming off the oven pot here, but the part where you grab it, it's not hot at all. Toss it off to the side, pop another ball in there, and I'm ready for another hit. That's actually the craziest part about it. And one night when I just went through so many bowls so quick, and I didn't have to like keep individually packing, I was like, this thing's kind of crazy. So that one actually did get a decent little pull on the first. Oh yeah, dude. The hits on this are surprisingly good. It's one of the better portable flower devices that I have, but it's not as portable as the others because it's a cup. Like I said, crossfade in one hand. I can sip before I rip. I can have water ready to go. Having the water in between the hit, water, that part is crazy because for somebody who's struggling with coughing or you need that water quick, it's right here. So, like I said, I was very skeptical of this at first. Bro, it's so weird. But also, it's so different than anything else out there, and I use it all of the time. Now, I will admit, again, this device is on the pricier side, and it's not going to be for everybody. If you're looking for your very first flower device, this might not be it, but if you're looking for your third or fourth one, you're like, dang, I need something weird, or I need something cool. This is the coolest, weirdest device I've used all year. It's actually insane. And the more I use it, the more I like it. It's so simple. It took me a little while to get used to, but once I got used to it, I'm like, oh, dang, this thing is actually crazy. Either way, again, you can type !bowl with an E at the end of my Twitch or Discord, or I'll put a link to my website in the description. It's going to have more info on there. I do have a Cewpins code, but like it's a little bit hard to find the device. Either way, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And look, we're getting lit on Twitch. Where are you at? I'll see you in the next video. Have a lit day, my dudes.